Yeah. Thanksgiving special. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it. Thanks for having me. Awesome. Instead of doing big, long introductions, I think the best introduction is to show you the video that a student of mine made. It was never, ever supposed to go public. Zach Conkle, he came to me one day and he said, hey, can I videotape some of your experiments and demonstrations that you do in class? And I said, sure. And he said, you know, it's just not come together. Can I videotape you at home? And then all of a sudden, he, took 144 hours of video, put it into 12 minutes, and when he turned it into his professor at Western Kentucky University for his final exam, his professor said, hey, you need to enter this in it. And he ended up winning a really, really nice collegiate award for broadcast journalism for it. So that's how the New York Times got a hold of it, and then our lives changed from there. So anyway, I just want to have you see the video if you haven't, and we'll go from there. Make sure all the technology is working here.
Let's go. It's weird, you guys. And she said, Adam, she's like, hey, it's not. And I thought, oh, if you smart that, you can see. When you can finally see, so I always have time out. And I was like, holy man. And so then I started working with him, trying to teach him a little sign language. And there was nothing more incredible than the day you could see this. So cool. That's when I knew they didn't care about how they work anymore. It's the reason why things work is because of love. So it was something that created the energy, it was something that created the entropy. It's the fact that, what's the greatest thing? Love. Like that exists. So with that great big universe that we have almost on us, who cares? People I show up. As long as you're not trouble, that's what we're doing.
Sorry about this. Uh-oh, it's letting it start again. Well, biscuits. I'm trying, everybody. Hang on. Well. Give me 1 second. I'm trying to get it over here. Let's see. There we go. Ladies and gentlemen, from that vast nebula of knowledge at the center of the universe, originating from the power of the Big Bang, whose mass and energy are infinite at the speed of light, it's, oh no, it's Molecule Man. There we go. Boy, this technology's not working good. This is where you clap. This is where you clap real loud. Thank you. Thank you so much. Crescendo at the end. Thank you. Whew. Wow. Oh, the guy's just gonna start again. I gotta get rid of this. Hold on. Technology is just not working for me today. I think we have to go all the way through this again. That's not working either. Holly, I might need some help. There we go. Now we got it. Sorry about that, everybody. Don't you do it again. Thank you. I am Molecule Man, and I am here to talk to you tonight about the density of light. Now, most of you know that density comes from all the different types of molecules that you have in atoms, and also light comes from the energy that those atoms have, and it's just not going to... We're trying. So you're probably thinking, wow, in order for you to know all those different types of atoms, we just don't have enough time. Well, you got to remember, I am a superhero. So therefore, I'm going to teach you all 104 chemical elements in a matter of 1 minute and 27 seconds. There are so many elements, you probably never heard them all, so I will sing a song, and I sure hope I don't forget them all. There's antimony, arsenic, aluminum, selenium, and hydrogen, and oxygen, and nitrogen, and rhenium, and nickel, neodymium, neptunium, germanium, and iron, americium, ruthenium, uranium, europium, zirconium, lutetium, vanadium, lanthanum, and osmium, and actinium, and radium, and gold, platinum, and indium, and gallium, and iodine, and thorium, and thulium, and thallium. There's yttrium, terbium, actinium, rubidium, and boron, iridium, niobium, iridium, and strontium, and silicon, and silver, and samarium, bisabrolli, lithium, beryllium, and barium. La 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 la. Golly, you're not even taking notes. You're acting like a bunch of public school kids. There's holmium and helium, and hafnium and erbium, and phosphorus and francium and fluorine and terbium, manganese, mercury, molybdenum, and magnesium, dysprosium, and scandium, cerium, cesium, lead, praseodymium, platinum, plutonium, palladium, promethium, potassium, polonium, tantalum, technetium, titanium, tellurium, and cadmium, and calcium, and chromium, and curium. There's sulfur, californium, fermium, berkelium, and osmium, and niobium, isonium, nobelium, and argon, krypton, neon, radon, xenon, zinc, and rhodium, chlorine, carbon, cobalt, copper, tungsten, tin, and sodium. Now, these are the only ones of which the news has come to Harvard, and there may be many others, they just haven't been discovered. There we go, at least I got it right. Woo. Now, ladies and gentlemen, as I talk to you about the density of light, I could have swore you said density and light. That's why I'm a science teacher. I come up here and... So you mean that I'm standing up here in front of a bunch of Catholic people and in a spandex suit and no way to get my dignity back, is there? Okay, thanks. Well, I'll tell you what. No, thanks. You're probably wondering, why did I stick around for this, and also why did I, delay my dinner plans, get rid of my UK tickets, sorry. Trust me, we're doing this for a reason. Isn't it the case, though, that sometimes in our lives, we have a little bit of misunderstanding. We have in our minds what God wants us to do. All of these are the elements of the periodic table. They're all in nice, neat little rows and columns. That's what our lives are supposed to be about. And if it doesn't match up to those nice, neat rows and columns, we try to put them in those nice, neat rows and columns. And then God says, no, you misunderstand. And all of a sudden, he throws us a curveball. And we realize that it's not about the density and not about the light. It's all about the dignity of life. And so what I'm going to do tonight is I'm going to get rid of all these rows and columns that I was once opposed to, and talk about stop being a superhero, because that's what I tried to do. When all this stuff happened to us, I put on my superhero outfit and said I was going to have to be the one that had to solve all the problems. And it's not about that at all. This is going to be all about learning who the real superhero is, somebody much greater than us, and also how I found out that the real superhero ended up being a lot of you guys. And boy, that fits so much better before I bought the Halloween candy a little bit too early. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, let's talk about being much, much more than we ever thought about. Now, as we talk about the dignity of life, I have to admit, I am not a public speaker. I am a school teacher, and it scares the fire out of me to talk in front of people. It really does. I would rather get a whole group of kids. I can talk in front of kids all day, and so I'm hoping that the youth group will come back here a little bit. I think they're having a meeting tonight or something like that, so I'm hoping they come back and help us out a little bit. But anyway, since I'm a science teacher, I thought that I would use a little science stuff, science demonstrations to sort of calm my nerves down, and also to sort of relate everything that happened in our lives to it. So most of you have heard of Newton's laws. You know Isaac Newton? And there's a commercial that has this first one on it, the law of inertia. Let's see how good your teachers were. It says that objects in motion want to stay in motion, and objects at rest will stay at rest unless an outside force acts on it. Can I borrow you? Okay, I want you to go down there. Just go down there by the baptismal font a little bit. Okay. Now, I have a hovercraft here, and it blows like air down to get rid of friction. That's perfect. I forgot your name. What? Josh. Okay, Josh, here's what I want you to do. I'm going to send this down to you, okay? And so this was just like my life before all this Joubert syndrome happened. It was going in a nice straight line. It was, I had a wonderful job at Trinity High School, and then I moved the mail, and my wife was a nurse at Baptist, and, had a beautiful daughter. Everything was going perfectly in a nice straight line. And it just kept going and going until something hit. Josh sent that right back to us. And when it hit, send it on back to me, champ. There you go. That's perfect. Oh, look at that. You're going to be a bowler. And all of a sudden, as soon as my life hit something, it turned around 180 degrees and went a totally different direction than I ever dreamed. What I didn't realize, that I was going to be heading right back towards that altar. Not that I was ever away from it, but it totally gave me a different view of this. Now, come on up here, Josh. The second law says this. Forces will either make things speed up, slow down, or change directions. Well, my life sped up really, really fast, and boy, did it change directions. And so I started the third law. You've heard of for every action there's a equal and opposite reaction. Well, like I said in the film, I got really mad. It just didn't make sense to me that God would be allowing Adam to hurt himself like that. And I just didn't have a purpose. I got really, really mad at God. And what I didn't realize that for every action there's an equal and opposite reaction. The madder I got, the more loving he got. And I want to show you this next little demonstration. Now, the demonstrations get more and more dangerous as we go along, so just to let you know, front row people, you're in big trouble. All right. This next one is all about resilience and bouncing. And many of you might have heard of these laws as well. It's called the law of conservation of energy and the law of conservation of momentum. Now, these are basketballs, okay? I feel. And so I'm going to pretend like the little ball is me and the big ball is God. Now, when you hold a ball up, what type of energy do you give it? Any kids here? It's called, go for it. It's potential. Look at you. You got a smart teacher. I got to meet that person. All right, so I give it potential energy. And when it drops, it begins with a K. Somebody said it back there. Kinetic. Look, you're smart too. That's awesome. So you get kinetic energy when you drop it, potential energy when you raise it up. Well, what a lot of people don't realize is this. When you bounce two things off each other, the momentum quadruples, because all the momentum of this big ball, which represented what? Goes into this little ball that represents who? And watch this. I've got to be a little careful on this one. This is fun to do in a gym. Okay, ready? I'm going to bounce them on top of each other. So that's me bouncing myself off of God. Here we go. Shoot, that wasn't good. Hold on. It's supposed to go up here. We're going to try that again. Didn't help it. I got it. Here we go. Uh-oh. We got to get this. I don't know if I can get up there. I busted the lights out of the last church, but that's good. All right, here we go. Let's try this again. There we go. So what I didn't realize was this. You're awesome. I was going to end up just soaring to new heights. I wasn't real happy about it because I was going to have to get bounced on first. But I went to heights that I never dreamt. I mean, like I said, I'm not a public speaker. Who would have ever thought that I would have been, I'm having issues, and who would have ever thought that I would have been up in front of, several hundred people giving a speech about my private life? Who would have ever thought that the New York Times would have took his story and, put it nationwide? Who would have ever thought that Adam's story would have been on 5 national TV shows? He got a chance to meet the President of the United States twice. And to go to Turkey, a primarily Muslim nation, and they're wanting to hear a Christian message. Like, that's pretty cool. I just never would have dreamt that I would have been bounced up that high. Now, I have to say, this all sounds like it's all goody two-shoes. It's not. I don't know why I just don't bring the mouse down here, Jeff, instead of constantly walking up and down. Let's try that again. Many of you have seen Corinthians 2:9, that eye has not seen, ear has not heard, what God is ready for those who love him. This proved to me over and over again with this. And now, I know it's hard to read that, but there was a lot of pressure with all this. As a parent, you want to be the best parent you can possibly be. And kids don't come with an owner's manual. There's no instruction manual to tell you how to do it, so the pressure was absolutely overwhelming. Now, I need somebody that I haven't picked on the back row people. Can I pick on you? You're like a perfect person. What's your name? Right here. Juliet. Come here, Juliet. I like this. All right. Now, Juliet, we're going to put you, let's see. I think I got enough cord right there. Just hold on one second. Can you take off your little shoes? You're perfect. Good. I'm just going to put you in a bag. Okay. I've only lost one child. Okay. Hang on one second. I'll be right back. I've got to get a vacuum sweeper. Cool. I love infomercials here. Okay. You're Juliet, right? Okay. Have you ever been shrunk wrapped before? No? Okay. Here's what we're going to do. I want you to look at your thumb. See that thumb? That's about a square inch. Now you think about all the square inches you have over your body. Well, on every square inch of your body, you have about 14.7 pounds of pressure pushing down on you. And I want you to feel what that feels like. Okay, now the good part is you also have 14 pounds of pressure pushing back up, so you don't normally feel it. But if I took that's pushing up, I'm going to take that away, you would feel all the pressure coming down on you. So let's do this. What I want you to do, I want you to get in the bag for me. All right, doing great, Juliet. And just sit, there you go. Good job. Just sit down there Indian style. Oh, you can't say that anymore. Crisscross applesauce. Yeah, so got to be politically correct now. You're doing great. That's perfect. Good. Go all the way down. You're good. You are. That is great. Thank you so much. Okay, don't put your head in. Can you cross your legs? That's great. Okay, good. Cool. Now, I'm going to take your hair out of the bag. Okay, that way there's no leaks. Doing good. Okay. Do you help your mom with the vacuuming at home? No. Come on, Mom. Jeez. All right, so here's what I want you to do. I want you to take this vacuum and put it in your hand, but don't let the plastic get sucked up in it. So just sort of keep it down there like that, okay? You're doing great. If at any time you feel like you can't breathe, you let me know. All right, so here we go. Oh, you okay? Yeah. You're good. Now, what's really great, she cannot move at all. 14 pounds of pressure on every square inch of her body. She couldn't move if she wanted to. And what's really great, Mom, she'll never spoil. She'll be perfectly she-ranked. Now, thank you so much. Give Juliet a big round of applause. You're awesome, girl. Got it? And up. Now. Hold on here. I got to figure out where everything went. I have to say, that's what it felt like when we found out that Adam had Gilbert's. We were completely smothered. We couldn't move. It's weird. It's a psychological disabilitation. You don't know what to do. because your whole life is just coming down on you. But remember how I said there's also 14 pounds of pressure doing what? Pushing back up. Here's what I want to do. And I always get worried about this one because sometimes this one doesn't work. I had this is really not good. I had a bucket around here. Holly, do you know where there it is? Hold on. I come over here. This is how much I don't trust it. Get my bucket ready. All righty. I'm going to put a little water in a cup. Okay. All righty. So once again, 14 pounds of pressure pushing down on the water. A little water in a cup. And so now there's 14 pounds of pressure pushing down on this plate. Are you with me? I'm now going to turn this over. Now I said there's also 14 pounds of pressure doing what? Pushing back up. The thing is, though, it's absolutely invisible. I got my bucket out because I don't trust it. Do you understand what this deals with in life? God, he helps us in very invisible ways. Sometimes we don't trust him, right? And here's how much you can, look, I got my bucket closed. Look at that, I can shake it a lot. It's amazing how much you can be shook in your life and be unstable, but God's holding you up the whole time. Incredible, but I don't trust it. You know, Mother Teresa once said this, God never gives me anything I can't handle. I just wish he wouldn't trust me so much. I love Mother Teresa. She comes up with all this good stuff. But I took a little artistic liberty, and I say this. God never gave me anything I can't handle. I just wish I would trust him more. Yeah. And I think, you know, a demonstration like this sort of proves it to you. Let's see here. So once again, eye is not seen, ear is not heard, what God had ready for those who love him. Now, the next thing I need you to do, and boy, this is going to be tricky because I don't know if I got the right type of people to do it, but we're going to give it our best shot. Okay. I need everybody to stand up for a second. All right. All right. What I need you to do is I want you to find out where your center of gravity is. Okay? So thank God you got a pew next to you. All right? I want you to start leaning forward. And our center of gravity is basically our belly button. Okay? Now, my belly button sticks out a little bit more because I have Dunlop disease. You know, Dunlopped over my belt. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, I want you to start leaning forward a little bit and watch what happens when your belly button gets beyond your toes. What happens? You start falling over. See, our center of gravity has to be over our support base. Okay, you guys can sit back down. I need 4 younger people. All right, hold on here. Hold on. I might hold it on easier. But they have to be a little bit taller. All right. Can I borrow you 2? Come here. All right. And let's see here. Hi. Come here. Yes, very good. And yeah, come here. That's good. Come here. That's great. Get these teenagers involved. All right. I want you. It's awesome. Do I have 4 guys yet? I need 1 more taller guy. How many ladies do I have? 4 ladies? Great. I need 1 more taller guy. Has anybody got a taller guy here? Let's see here. Oh, by golly. Come on up, Dad. Come here. All right. Okay, here's what we're going to do. Now, ladies, you're simply going to be the people that you're not going to be in any danger whatsoever. Okay? What I want to show you here is this. When we found out that Adam had Gilbert's and all these rough things were going to happen, I realized that God was responding to us through everybody else. He just didn't come down and start talking to me. That's not the way it works. He started talking to me through a bunch of people like at St. Pius, this lady, Betty Pike, she says, what I do for a living is I arrange therapies for people through First Steps. And she said, I'll take care of you on that. I had no clue who that woman was. Just came out of the blue. And then as far as getting us a handicap-accessible van, Sam Cook said, hey, I'll take care of that, and it's amazing. He gave us a great deal on it. I mean, there's always been people that have helped us. And they deal with our church community, the fact that, we had to support ourselves. Our families were constantly there. I can't tell you how many times mom and dads babysitted for us or, knew that we had to work, so they would come over and help out with Adam. And then finally, our friends. And so what we're going to do, we're going to get 4 people that are going to represent these things. Thank you so much. I need you sitting towards the back of them. I'm so glad you're here. This is great. Right there. Perfect. I need you to come over here. Okay. And you're going to sit right. Oh, hold on. Boom. You're going to sit facing that wall right there. Beautiful. Okay. And I want you to come over. And you're going to sit facing me. Beautiful. Okay. And you are going to sit facing that wall over there. Now, guys, this is going to be a little bit uncomfortable, but I need you to scoot your butts as close to the center as possible, because here's what you're going to do. I need your legs straight down on the ground, because the other person is going to lay back into your lap. Okay? So that's why I need your butt as close to that center as possible. So you're going to put your weight, and when I tell you to, you're going to put your weight on their feet. What the young ladies are going to do is this. We're going to say, lift up your legs just a little bit, and we're going to pull those chairs out. Okay? So you won't have a chair to sit on. Okay? You're going to be sitting on each other. You're going to be totally relying on each other. So you make sure you got those feet straight down. All right? Okay, here we go. All right, guys, if you would just lean back and get comfortable. Lean towards the center of it. I know you don't like this, but that's okay. Just pretend you're special. All right. Okay. Are you good? You need to lean to your right at all? There you go. Does everybody feel your weight on the other person? Okay, ladies, get behind the chairs for me. Okay. I guess we shouldn't have done this on the tile. All right. All right. So what I want you to do is try your best just to lift your butts. Oh, hold on. Here you go. I got them right here. Okay. Try to lift your butts up just a little teeny bit. Make sure your weight's on each other, okay? Now lift your butts up just a little bit so we can pull those chairs out, okay? And try your best. Try your best. Keep going, just nice and slow. Nice and slow. All the way out. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. All right. Yeah. Hang on, guys. Now here's the weird part about this. If one of those groups, if just one of them doesn't support you, if just one of them would give out, watch what happens. Bye, guys. All right, you're awesome. Awesome. Good job. Thank you, ladies. So that's what I realized, is it wasn't just the fact that I was relying on an invisible God. All of you people made God very visible to me. Now, okay, I gotta make sure I'm not losing all my toys here. Hold on. All right. Now, I have another platform up here, and this one gets really dangerous. All right. I'm breathing heavy in the mic, Jeff. All right. Okay, I'm gonna put a little water in here. All righty. And if you would touch the platform and tell me that it's not sticky. Okay, and the bottom of the cup. I feel like I'm doing a magic show. Do you see how there's 4 strings representing the 4 communities that I just talked about? Now, I felt like though my life was spinning out of control. Seriously, I had no control. Adam's stuff was constantly controlling my life. I was very, very involved in church, couldn't do that anymore. I used to sing in a quartet, couldn't do that anymore. Because something else was taking it away from me. And so, like I said, I was constantly spinning out of control. It was sort of like this platform, though. You know, when you spin it around like this, doesn't it spin out? It looks like it's going out, doesn't it? But which way do I have to pull? When you make something go in a circle, do you know which way you pull? You actually pull in towards yourself. Well, I didn't realize that the good Lord was actually doing that. And so naturally, I got to do everything with water. Has anybody in here not been baptized? Yeah. Okay, here we go. Oh, no. I know. Oh, geez. You know the hard part about this? Slowing down. They never teach you how to slow down very much, okay? But sometimes if you do it just right, boom, there you go. Once again, God was sort of pulling me right back towards the center of that altar. And I'm so glad somebody's here tonight, because I want to talk about this. To get me involved back in church, one Sunday afternoon over at St. Pius, Jack Clark, who was the DRE, said, "Could you teach Sunday school?" And I said, "Jack, there is no way I could teach Sunday school. What's Adam going to do? He's going to sit there and scream the whole time. There's just no way I could do it." Well, in the back of church, if you look back there with him right now, and this was not planned, she showed up out of the blue, is a young lady named Shelby Rich. She was in 8th grade at the time, right? Yeah. And she said, "Well, geez, Mr. Wright, I could watch Adam while you teach." And I'm thinking, I don't want to teach anyway. Now she's making it. Anyway. And I said, "But he's pretty bad off." And she said, "I've always wanted to become a special ed teacher. Why don't you let me try it?" And I said, "I'm all for getting teenagers involved in the church." And I said, "Well, heck, let's give it a shot." And all of a sudden he said, "That way, Adam can receive his first communion." And I'm thinking, whoa, Shelby, no. Because, first communion, you got to understand what's actually going on. That's the body and blood of Christ. And here's what her response was. And she said to me, "Well, do you understand it?" And she didn't say it smart aleck at all. It was just an 8th grade. You know how 8th graders are. And she was not being smart aleck. And you know what? That hit me in the face like, I don't. How dare I say I do? And why not let him? So by God, there was nothing more incredible to me. She took him through that whole 9 months, educating him about the Holy Eucharist. And Adam didn't go up in his wheelchair. He walked. We were holding him like crazy, but he walked to communion. And there was nothing more incredible, because you know what I was thinking in my head? My God, what God must have felt like when his son was walking up to Calvary. I had that same feeling all of a sudden. Well, guys, what happens 7 years or 6 years after Holy Communion? It's confirmation time. Shelby comes up and says, "Hey, I bought all the stuff, for special needs stuff for confirmation." And I'm thinking, oh, confirmation, no way, because you got to make a conscious commitment to be an adult in the church. And even Father Bill Burks was like, I just don't know. Well, Father said, "I need to ask the Archbishop." Well, the Archbishop has a special needs, a brother with special needs. And he said, absolutely, he's receiving confirmation. And you can see him right up here with Shelby, and there's the Archbishop and Father Doe and Father Bill. And I tell you what, when Adam received confirmation, that's when I understood that I had gifts of understanding. I better understand how he's feeling, and fortitude, the strength, that I was given that strength. And boy, did I fear the Lord, because every time I thought I couldn't do anything, he was there. I suddenly had wisdom I didn't know about, because all these people kept teaching me stuff. And I learned a lot. Now, piety is still one I'm struggling with it, that's something. But it was neat that Adam's confirmation taught me that I had the gifts. Once again, eyes not seen, ears not heard, what God had ready for those who love him. Got a little story about a pig and a chicken. It was a farmer's birthday. And the pig and the chicken said, "We got to do something special for this farmer's birthday." And the chicken said, "Well, I know exactly what we'll do." And the pig said, "What's that?" And he said, "We're going to make him breakfast." And the pig said, "Well, that's a great idea. What should we make him?" And the chicken said, "Well, duh, we're going to make him bacon and eggs." Now, for those of you not laughing, the pig has to die in order to make the bacon. Okay. For the chicken, it's just a donation. For the pig, it's a lifelong commitment. Isn't that what some of our lives are when we have to work with our struggles? We just can't give a donation and say, "Hey, I'm going to do that part-time." It's a lifelong commitment, trust me. 4:20 this morning, Lifelong commitment. Changing diapers for the rest of my life. Lifelong commitment. I've had people ask me, if you had another kid like that, would you have an abortion? They had the nerve to ask me that. And you know what? Talk about sinful. You tell me it doesn't go in your mind. You tell me it doesn't go in your mind. But then again, I wouldn't be here. How many people would be sharing this story if I didn't get up? If I didn't change the diaper? So he's affected more lives than I have. So, yeah, you got to do it. You just do it. Now, everybody has a purpose. No matter what abilities we have, we need some more people here. It's sort of like a pipe organ in church. And I know we don't have a pipe organ, but you know, about pipe organs, they all have different lengths. And I need about 8 or 9 people, especially kids. If you have any musical ability whatsoever, come on up. Or if you can bang a tube, come on up. I need all the kids. Let's come here. You three, yeah, come on up. You guys can do this. Yeah. Do you know your alphabet? Do you know your alphabet? Do you know your alphabet? Do you know your ABCs? Come on up. Come on. You know, good. Okay, so I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I need 3 more. Anybody know their ABCs? Come on up. Come on, you're looking at me. You know you want to come up. Come here. Come on, don't just sit there and look at your phone. Come here. Come on, you can do it. I know you know it. You're going to do this great. All right, go. I just need 8 people. Perfect. I forgot Rachel. There you go. Oh, you're good. Perfect. All right. Hold on. How much time I got here? Not too bad. Come here, guys. All the way up here. You get the big tube. You get the big tube? Anybody want the big tube? There you go. Big tube. Next tube. Next tube. Next tube. Next tube. Next tube. There you go. I think I got 2 more. There we go. All right. Now, look on the sides of your tubes. You'll see a letter. What letter do you have? B. What letter you got? C. What letter you got? Now, watch this. I'm going to put a song up here. Now, all those tubes are going to represent people that have different talents. We all have different talents. Everybody got this? Okay, now, can y'all see these letters okay? This is the song Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star. Okay? Now, twinkle, twinkle, little star. Okay, now watch this. If you have a B, who has a B? Okay. See this thing that says BB there? That's actually a B flat. Go ahead and play it anyway. It'll sound a little bit weird, but you're fine. All right, cool? Now, here's the way this works. When I point to this, if you are a C, who's got a C? Okay, you and you are going to play the first 4 notes. You're going to play these 2 and these 2. You with me? So you're going to go twinkle, twinkle. And anytime you see a C, by golly, you're playing it. I'm going to point to it as we go along. Can you do that for me? Okay. Who's got an F? You are playing the first 2 notes. So you go twinkle, and then you don't play anymore. Okay? Right with me? Who's got a D? So you're going to be playing these notes. Okay? But you got to look in both lines, because sometimes you might be on top, playing the melody. Just like sometimes in life we play the melody, but sometimes we have to play the harmony and just be something that makes us sound pretty, right? So you guys think you can do this? All right? I know you're young. We can do this. Okay, get your tubes ready. The way you hit, oh, by the way, the way you play it is you just bang it on your head. Everybody try it. All right, here we go. That's why I teach high schoolers. They're less behaved. All right, here we go. I'm going to try this. I'm not going to be as good as Holly, but you just try it, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. Star, how I wonder what you are. Here we go. Up, above. World so, who's got an A? World so high. We should have treated the adults. Try this again. Here we go. Do this line again. Like a diamond in the sky. Up here again. Twinkle, twinkle, little star. How? Who's got you? Wonder what you are. There you go, guys. Good job. Let me have my tubes back. All right. Thank you, guys. Now, can we do it? Perfect. I need to ask y'all this. What happens if one person's tube's not there? It sounds wrong. So if we get rid of any one of you and your note is not played, you don't have the music. Sometimes you might lose the melody, sometimes you might lose the harmony, but you don't have the music. And the music is what's beautiful in it. Okay? So we all got to play our note. And we got to let those notes be played. And that's why we respect the life that happens. All right. Got a few more things, and I promise you I'll wrap it up here. There was a young man at the Mayo. He was the quarterback for Mayo High School, I think 3 years ago. His name was Hayden Shelton. And that was the year we won state. And Hayden was a really big member of FCA. That's the Fellowship of Christian Athletes. And we met one Tuesday morning, and it was his job, or his day, to be the group leader. He was an awesome quarterback, but he hated speaking. Could not speak in front of a crowd. And so here's what he did, and I thought it was absolutely incredible. He took Adam up to the front, and he read him a fairy tale that his mom used to read to him. And here's what the fairy tale was. There were these 3 trees all standing up on a hill, and they were talking about what they wanted to be when they grew up. And the first tree said, I know exactly what I want to be. I want to be made into a treasure chest and hold all the wonderful treasures and the gold of the world of all the important people. The second tree says, heck with that. I want to be made into a huge, huge ship and sail famous people across the oceans. And the third tree said, not me. I don't want to be cut down. I want to stay right here on top of this hill and grow as tall as I possibly can. And by God, when people look at me, they see the face of God. None of those trees got what they wanted. First tree was cut down and made into a box that holds animal feed, hay, whatever. Second tree was made into a little teeny boat. And the third tree was just cut into lumber. That first tree was really cool. That little feeding trough, there was this one little couple one day came by. She was pregnant. They didn't have any place to stay. She had the baby in the barn. And you know what they did? They took that baby, wrapped him up, and put him right there in that feeding trough. Well, the second tree made it into that little boat. One day, a bunch of guys were out on the boat fishing, and the seas started getting really, really, really bad. I mean, tossing all over the place. This guy was in the back sleeping. They said, would you wake the heck up? I'll be darned if that guy didn't get up, calm those oceans down. He started walking on the water. Well, third tree, the same guy that walked on the water, some Roman soldiers one day took and arrested him, beat him, made that tree into a Roman cross and killed him. Guys, none of those trees got the life they wanted. We don't always get those nice little rows and columns of the periodic table, do we? But he gives us so much more. You see that first tree? She got to carry all the treasure of the world. The most important treasure ever was laid in her chest. The second tree, no, he wasn't a fancy boat, but boy, he carried the most famous person across, and everybody remembers that story. And that third tree, when people looked up, they were looking at the face of God. See, I didn't get what I wanted, or did I? I got much more than I ever dreamed. And that's what's so awesome about, this life of ours that we always get. I wanted to show you a little story about my wife, Nancy. I haven't talked about her much. Can you imagine being married to me? I mean, the poor girl. When we got married, she was in the back, and she looked right at Father Bill Burks, and Father Bill sees it, and she said, I don't think I can do this. And Father Bill said, yes, you are. And he said, you just pay attention to me. Here's what you're going to do. She was back here, and she said, Father Bill said, I want you to look at the aisle, and then I want you to look at that altar, and then I want you to look at him. being me. Yeah. Just look at the aisle, look at the altar, and then look at him. Look at the aisle, look at the altar, look at him. And all of a sudden, she started this cadence, saying this cadence. Aisle, altar, him. Aisle, altar, him. I'll alter him. I'll alter him. And all the way up there, she knew what she was going to do her whole life. But you know what? That's what we tried to do with Adam. We were constantly trying to change him into something that he wasn't. Until we realized that he was the one actually changing us. So we got to forget about trying to change him all the time. He's got to be what he's meant to be. Look at this light behind you. I was really worried about this stained glass window because we wouldn't be able to see anything. I took that picture the other night. And having a child with special needs is a lot like looking at a stained glass window from the lighted side. Look at that beautiful stained glass window. Why can you see that so well? Yeah. That's right. The light's coming through it. We're so busy trying to shine our light on stuff that we see just random, sort of dreary and unbearable. I mean, our life looks like that sometimes. We're trying to put the light on it, and it's almost unbearable. But you don't see the beauty until you let the light shine through it. So many of us become obsessed with what I call the superficial perfection of that picture. We're all involved in that picture. Well, God wants us to see perfection of love through what we do, not through what we see. And trust me, our love in our family might look messy sometimes, and God knows mine does. And it requires a lot of sacrifices. But that's where this deep mystery of sacrificial love comes from, and especially when we come about the love of that cross. That's the perfect love, right? I want you to look at this. Anybody have any clues? Those are what? Stars, right? No. Those are galaxies. Now, if you know anything about the difference between those two things, here's that. Every one of those dots has 100 billion stars in it. Every one of those little teeny dots. And that's just a little small part of our night sky. And every dot, every 100 billion stars could have a couple planets going around it that might have life on it. So think about this. 99.99999% of the universe doesn't even know you exist. You're a worthless piece of dust floating around in a world that doesn't even know you're here. Or are you? And so when all this happened, I'm thinking, well, what's the point? And then I realized, well, the purpose in the earth has nothing to do with our abilities. God knows I think if parents would know how much our kids are going to screw up, we'd never have them. Isn't that the truth? Or if you knew how much you were going to screw up? But it has nothing to do with our abilities. We're created in the image and likeness of God and to be loved by him. But what's even important, we're supposed to love like him. So if we all have different abilities, we got to love all the people with those. One last thing, and I'm going to shut up. All right. I have a light up here, and I don't know if this is going to work because the church is so lit up, but that's okay. We're going to try our best. And, okay, are we plugged in? Hang on. Come on. All right, cool. I need one more volunteer, and especially somebody that has not volunteered yet. Anybody not volunteered yet? Is Father here? No, okay. Well, come here. You're not an electrician, are you? Okay, we'll come back to that. All right. Well, no, you're not going to break anything. I'm just going to charge you up with about 22,000 volts of electricity. So can you get up here or you want me to bring it down? Okay, cool. What I want you to do is this. I want you to grab that with your hand just perfectly like that. Now, do you see how the spark is attracted to him? So God put a light in every one of us. We have that spark inside of us. And it's attracted to it. It wants to go to us. But none of us really care. He's the one that's scared. Because he's being charged up right now. Now, here's what I want you to do. I want you to take your left hand. We're going to see. We might have to do this a little bit different. No, don't touch that. All right. And whatever you do, don't put this in your mouth. Okay. Now, so what I want you to do, Don't guess that. Oh, you're that type of guy. All right. Now, hold on one second. Now, this is not working real good. So what we're going to do, we're going to take this hand off, And I just want you to take the light and touch it. And back up this way so they can see it from the side. Can y'all see the light light up? Now, now, do you feel anything? And here's the thing. We can't light up this world until he reaches out and touches somebody else. He's got to have enough guts to reach out and do that. Now, if he lets go that spark inside of him, watch what happens to the light. It goes out. You got to reach down. And everybody has it. You got to reach out and show that to people. Okay? Does it make sense? Cool. Thank you so much. You did a good job. Thank you. All right. So anyway, as my last little thing here, I want to end with a prayer. I cannot tell you how much I appreciate you letting me do this. This is weird, not that it wouldn't without it, but it gives Adam's life purpose. It gives me a little bit more purpose. Does that make sense? And if we allow each other to touch those sparks inside of us and reach out and touch other people, I just know this world's going to be a heck of a lot better place. And so let's end with this. Let me be God's light to you in the nighttime of your fears. Let me hold my hand out to you and feel that love you long to hear. We are pilgrims on a journey. We are travelers on the road, and we are here to help each other walk the mile and bear the load. Will you let me be your servant? Let me be God's love to you, and pray that I may have the grace to let you be my servant too. Thank you very much, everybody. God bless you. Thanks to all the kids tonight. Way to go, kiddos. Woo! Thanks for sticking around, everybody.